Today, I finally succeeded in making contact with an intelligent being from Earth. As usual, I completed my daily nutrient intake and did not encounter any Earthlings. When I arrived at the laboratory, an Earthling was already there. She turned around to look at me with an exaggerated smile on her face, her mouth turned up, revealing a set of gleaming white teeth as if ready to attack. I was startled, but fortunately, the smile quickly disappeared. She didn't seem to notice my discomfort and simply turned back to her workstation. After a while, feeling safe, I moved to my own workstation. We worked in silence, and perhaps this wasn't a sign of aggression but a form of greeting among Earthlings, although this hypothesis had no actual evidence to support it since baring teeth is generally a common sign of aggression among most species. Suddenly, without any warning, the Earthling spoke. "You know, I just realized I've never asked for your name. That must seem incredibly rude of me." After thinking for a moment, I replied, "I'm not upset by your actions." "So, what is your name?" she asked. "Our species does not have the custom of individual names," I explained. "We address each other by titles or professions. I am called Technician." "But that sounds boring and sad," she responded. My forelimbs clicked. "I have never known any other way of addressing," I said. Her vocal cords vibrated, producing a barely perceptible hum. The silence didn't last long. "Can I ask you a personal question? You can choose not to answer if you like. I just want to know, do all members of your species look like you? A bit like crustaceans with 8 legs, antennae, and compound eyes? Our species has little anatomical variation. We all look quite similar." "Yes," I answered. "Oh, cool." She seemed somewhat surprised. Trying to be polite, I asked the next question. "So, what about your species? Do individuals vary greatly in appearance?" "Well, sort of. I mean, we all have the same basic structure, if you can call it that anatomically speaking, but we can differ in things like skin color, eye color, hair color, height, weight, that sort of thing. Those are just the differences I can think of right now." She began to count these differences on her fingers as she spoke, using one finger for each item mentioned. "Compared to my species, that's truly astonishing," I told her. "Yeah, you could say that." She opened and closed her mouth, her teeth clicking together. It was evident she wanted to say something more but decided against it. Before I could continue the conversation, Vil entered the lab with a toolbox. They told me that there was apparently another leak in one of the storage rooms, and they hoped I could check it out. Although I doubted their words, I followed them, if only to put their minds at ease. There was indeed a leak, and I had to spend the rest of my time fixing and checking for further damage or similar leaks, as there had already been 2 in a relatively short period. By the time I finally completed the task, it was nearly the end of the day, and the Earthling had already left to enjoy her break time. As I mentioned in previous reports, I don't draw conclusions, but I have a hunch that this Earthling might have a fondness for me. Every alien species has a different view of Earth and its inhabitants. Some say it's a crazy planet, a boring planet, a planet full of disgusting creatures. Earthlings bathe too much, bathe too little, they all look the same yet all look different. Earth is beautiful. Earth is terrifying. But they all agree on one thing, it is indeed strange. But 1 or 2 aliens come to live on Earth. They learn an Earth language if their vocal organs can manage, or learn sign language if they can't. They go to school, get jobs, find roommates. As they stay longer, they notice one thing, Earth is mostly ordinary. Like other planets, it has an intelligent species, beauty and ugliness in nature, different cultures. Earthlings don't vary much genetically, but they are not entirely the same either. So why does this place have such a reputation? One day, they ask their friend, boss, teacher, or any trusted Earthling. "You know, I don't understand why everyone thinks you are so strange." And the Earthling laughs. They think it's a kind smile. Understanding the body language of other species can be difficult sometimes. Then the Earthling sighs. "We always thought we would be the weird ones in the galaxy, but that's not the case. But if there's one thing Earthlings might have more of than any species I've heard of, it's a penchant for humor." The Earthling might nod or nudge the alien's ribs with their elbow, if they have them, or just smile. There aren't many things Earthlings agree on, but we all think exaggerating and spreading rumors about ourselves to aliens is hilarious. So, you all just want to act so weird that you start lying? Not lying, just revealing the right facts to the right people. If you find a species that usually bathes 3 times a day, casually mention that some Earthlings bathe only a few times a week, and eventually the whole species will think Earthlings don't bathe at all. If you tell someone from an ice planet about the Sahara Desert, they will panic, and within a year or 2, everyone on that planet will believe Earthlings live in volcanic centers. Here, the alien smiles or shows other subtle signs of pleasure. Yes, now that they think about it, none of the rumors they heard before coming here turned out to be true. That does sound like Earthlings, doesn't it? A species wholeheartedly spreading rumors about themselves because they find it amusing.